Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to this episode of Doctor's Orders, advice you should actually take with your host, Dr. Jeff May. Here we go. This is going to be one of my favorite episodes because this is at the heart of every single person listening. You, your family, your relationships, your children, what's to come after you, what's been before you. But there's two things that with that future and the past is we can't really do anything about the future yet, but we can also not do anything about... Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Dr. Jeff C. May. Welcome to another episode of Doctor's Orders. I'm your host, Dr. Jeff, and I'm excited to share with this one because truly what we're going to talk about, the title of this one is going to be Breaking Free, Taking Down the Sick Care System Together. Yes, this is something we preach, we shout from the mountaintops here at Advantage Health Center, my practice in Jordan, Minnesota. And this is going to hit at the heart of every human being listening. Listen, we can't go in the past and change things, but we can make action steps today to move forward. And ultimately, in every great movie, okay, think about your favorite movie. There is a hero, there is an enemy, there is struggle, and there is this plot that takes them through the struggle. There's something that's learned, and eventually they overcome. The good guys win in the end for most movies, and we leave that feeling amazing. Well, did you know that you're the hero of your story? When it comes to you and your health, you are responsible for your health. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about who's the enemy. Who's the enemy then? And then inevitably, you think about every hero. Every hero has a guide. And that's how I see myself and my purpose into helping people become healthier, happier, more productive is a guide. You don't have to listen to me, but I'll tell you what, I can help you avoid painstaking mistakes that most people do. And so the first part of this is we really have to identify the enemy. And the enemy in this case is the traditional sick care model, the model we were all raised in. The model that says, hey, we're going to be reactive versus proactive, that medication over wellness. And, if your insurance doesn't cover it, you don't need it. It's that model. It's that model that are keeping us sick right now. It's that model that has the U.S. population is about 5%, and yet we take over 75% of the world's medications. 5 out of 6 people will experience heart disease or cancer in their lifetime. That's well over 80%. Are you kidding me? Think about that. 5 out of 6 people. So name 6 people, you being one of them, 5 out of 6. Cancer or heart disease in their lifetime. Obesity is the new number one healthcare crisis when it comes to nutrition. Obesity, not starvation, not malnutrition. You see, just recently, it is now predicted that our children being born today actually have a shorter life expectancy. It blows my mind how the first time in history we actually have a shorter life expectancy than we did. And if you look at life expectancy trends, it's going down. Yet we spend more. We spend more in healthcare in the United States than anybody else. And yet, out of Johns Hopkins did a study about the 37 industrialized country in overall health, and the U.S. ranked dead last. That's not okay. That's not okay. And so when we look at this, we've got to dive in when it happens. So looking at healthcare, inevitably, it usually always starts with a symptom. And you've got 3 choices when it comes to a symptom. You can ignore them, you can cover them up with medication, or you can get to the cause. And we've been taught since we were little, it's like, hey, if a symptom lasts long enough, you either take something for it, right? Growing up in Nebraska, it was like rub some dirt on it. But you either take something for it, or you just totally ignore it. I remember there were times where it's like there is this toughness rating, just kind of ignore it. And you know what? There's some things you just shouldn't ignore. Ultimately, you need to get to the cause, and that's the point of a lot of this. And think about this: what it's costing you. Most people, they live for today. Let's be real. They live for today. If I look good, feel good, I must be healthy. That's our definition of health in the United States. Yet the true definition of health is a state of optimal physical, mental well-being, despite whether you have symptoms or not. The World Health Organization actually gave that definition a long time ago. And if you look at all of the things, like the cost of inaction, every medication. So on average, Americans are on 12 to 14 medications apiece. Like, how astronomical is that? 12 to 14 medications apiece. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We are absolutely toxic. We are absolutely poisoning ourselves, and it's disgusting. It's sad. It really, really, really is sad. And knowing that the average drug has about 70 side effects. 70 side effects, or think about that, 70 side effects. So now with the average American being on 12 to 14 different medications, how can you even possibly calculate the potential side effects? You can't. We are literally poisoning ourselves. We are now at the point where most people are taking medications to cover up side effects of other medications. And that's a very, very sick place to be. And when you step back and you realize that the U.S. is spending about $4.5 trillion, which averages out to just over $13,000, almost $13,500 per person in healthcare every year. It's no wonder that we're bankrupt. Literally our lifestyle disease, the sick care model is bankrupting America. And America doesn't need more things bankrupting it. I don't know if you've looked around lately, but it doesn't need more reasons for that. The annual healthcare insurance premiums in 2023 were $8,400 for a single person and about almost $24,000 for family coverage. Now, these have been up 7%. In 2023, those premiums went up 7%, and the average family premium has increased 22% since 2018 and 47% since 2013. Literally, it's increased 47% in 10 years, a little over 10 years. Like, that's it. Our health is bankrupting the country. Our current state of health, our current model of healthcare, how we see it, just ignore symptoms, cover them up with medications. If your insurance doesn't cover it. Like, last time I checked, my insurance doesn't cover my toothpaste, but I'm damn sure going to brush my teeth. Like, we've got to look at this, and we've got to change our model of healthcare, because over and over and over again, I get to see patients and I get to see them overcome health challenges. I get to see people who were once obese actually make health changes, how they eat, how they think, how they move. All of these things are key, and all of these things are important, and you've got to look at this. You have to do this. Just recently, I had a patient that for years has struggled with his weight. Like, ever since I met him, and I've probably been taking care of him for 16 years. And it took this long. He's finally making the steps, because you know what? His life got to a point where the pain of not doing anything finally became greater of the pain of doing something. And for a lot of us, that's where we are. We have to realize it's like, well, maybe it doesn't hurt bad enough. The pain of inaction becomes greater than the pain of action, because we think, I got to make changes and I got to do this and I got to do that. Yeah, you do. You really do. And you know what? If you don't have a big enough why, you'll never comply. You got to have a why. Like, for a lot of us, we won't do it for ourselves. We'll lie to ourselves. But you know what? If your kids are watching, you're not going to lie. And so what about your kids? What about your spouse? What about the people that you depend on you? Like, those are very, very serious things when you look at it. And that's why that's why we built a building 3 years ago. We didn't have to build a building. Like, I could have stayed downtown Jordan in this. The office was fine. We made the best of it, and we were like kind of overflowing at the seams at the time. And now we're in this building that the building of it itself, like it comes with a bigger price tag, like each and every month. Like, it's harder to run this place. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about the paycheck. It's about the purpose. And if the purpose is right, the paycheck follows. That applies for your life too. And so when we go at this, it's like, we got to help people get at the cause. We got to help people understand that they can't just live for today. You need to do things today that, yes, may be uncomfortable. Going for a walk, 10,000 steps a day, 7,500 steps a day, eating more protein, drinking more water, cutting out sugar. Like, all of those things may suck, but they're going to suck worse later in your life. Because when it comes to healthcare, you're either got to pay now or pay later, but the piper gets paid. The piper will get paid, whether it's today, where you're putting in the things you don't want to do, or whether it's down the road. So I promise you this, when you look at your day, I would have you strongly consider really looking at preventative healthcare practices, and in the world of finances, and I got my bills and all those things. Yeah, groceries are up, gas, like everything's up. But if you throw out your healthcare with the window, you're looking at a medical bankruptcy. And the medical bankruptcy percentage of people is far too high. In fact, last time I checked, don't quote me, but I believe the number one cause of bankruptcy is healthcare related. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that's it, knowing the statistics that I do. And so I want to encourage you You got to start advocating for yourself in healthcare settings. When the doctor just says, hey, let's just like try this med, try this med, try this med. No, what about lifestyle changes? It's not the medical doctor's fault. Like, they're just so used to people not doing anything, not taking action. It's like, you know what? Just take a med. Like, you're going to die anyway. You might as well feel good about it. Well, that's not okay with me. And getting educated in natural and holistic health modalities like workshops, like all of those things, sharing this podcast, like this is how we get the message out there and helping people and saying, hey, I love you. I love you enough to say, I want you to make better healthcare choices, and I'm willing to make those with you to help hold you accountable. Right now we're coming up with, March. So it's March 1st at the time of this recording. On Monday, we start our free 30-day challenge through the office. And we've got like 193 people in a Facebook group called Advantage Reset who we're about ready to drop in. And for the next 4 weeks, we're going to hold each other accountable. There's daily things, there's weekly themes, there's all these things planned out. And I've recruited some of the people that have lived this lifestyle from the Advantage Army that I'm so excited about. Like people that we literally have been with for decades and seen the changes in their life. And so ultimately, here's the thing. You have to be proactive when it comes to your health. Understanding that you'll never get healthier at the bottom of a pill bottle, and realizing that it's going to take some work, but the work you put in now will pay dividends later versus you paying out and becoming medically bankrupt trying to regain your health. Time is a finite thing. People that are healthier are happier, and people that are happier get more done, period, end of story. So let me hear your questions on this. Comment, like, share wherever you're seeing this. Share the podcast. I appreciate you guys. Listen, it's a mission. It's a purpose. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful God put me on this earth to be able to do it. So until next time, we'll talk to you soon.